Beginning recording. Okay.
Thanks.
It's 6:33 p.m. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Roll call of commissioners. Commissioner Simoes. He's here but muted. Commissioner Doherty,
Here.
Commissioner Hemsley,
Here.
and Commissioner Manone.
Here.
Okay. Can I have a motion to waive the reading of the minutes and to approve the minutes of the general board meeting number 3410 held on October 1, 2020?
I make the motion.
Can I have a
I'll
second?
second it.
Well, if I was there.
Okay, well, are you comfortable making that motion whether you're not there or not?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Okay,
Austin, that's the meeting you weren't at. That's why we couldn't pass it last time.
gotcha. So I'm abstaining. Thank you for reminding me, Jackie.
Okay, no
I'm
problem.
abstaining. We have enough votes to carry? Okay. Can I have a motion to waive the reading of the minutes and to approve the minutes of the general board meeting number 3412 held on November 5, 2020?
I'll make that motion.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Abstain. I wasn't there.
Aye.
Can I have a motion to waive the
Wait.
reading?
I'm sorry, Ryan wasn't at that meeting.
No.
Ryan and Pat were not
Right.
there.
Did one of them make the motion to a
Ryan
second?
seconded the
I
motion.
seconded it.
Oh, okay.
Joe made the motion and Ryan seconded the motion.
John, do you want to second it or you want me to second it?
I'll second it.
All right. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So it's
Same.
3-0, 2 abstentions. Can I have a motion to waive the reading of the minutes and to approve the minutes of the general board meeting number 3413 held on December 8th, 2020?
I'll make the motion.
Can I have a second? I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Isolation.
Okay. We're up to communications, correspondence. John, do you have the correspondence? John Champoli?
Okay, can you hear me now?
We can hear
Yes.
you.
Okay. Correspondence. We've received a notice of claim regarding a vehicle accident for a Tatiana Velasquez. A letter from the Nassau County Comptroller, which is an entry letter for the audit that they're doing. A letter from the Oceanside Cove Homeowners Association regarding recycling of cardboard. A notice of public hearing from the town of Hempstead regarding rezoning property at the northeast corner of Neal Court and Fireman's Memorial Drive. And lastly, a letter from the Oceanside Kindergarten, School Number 6, requesting recycling bags.
Okay. Treasurer's report subject to audit. Can I have a motion to approve the payment of district operating expenses, including payroll for the period of November 6, 2020 through December 3, 2020?
I'll make the motion.
Can I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Can I have a motion to approve the payment to each claimant included in the abstract of claims provided by the district treasurer and audited by the board for the period from November 6, 2020 through November 3, 2020?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Obviously, we have no supervisor's report. Commissioners, committee reports. I don't think any committee met or did anything in the last month. With respect to unfinished business, the only issue we have is the Commissioner Hemsley investigation. Unless anyone else wants to talk about everything, but that, a table, everything with the unfinished business until next year.
Make the motion to table.
Can I have a second?
I'll second the table.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 With respect to the Commissioner Hemsley investigation, since Commissioner Hemsley is here, I'm going to ask whether or not he's prepared to answer some questions from the commissioners tonight, and whether or not he is ready to have the investigation now.
I am not going to be investigated by the people that I believe are responsible for this. I look forward to a full and thorough external investigation. I will not be answering your questions about anything, Austin, or yours, John, or yours, Joe. That's it.
Okay, so you won't
No,
answer whether or not any of the posts that we received on October 12th were yours.
no.
So we'll leave that for on as unfinished business. The next thing of new business is the purchase of sanitation truck. I think all the commissioners received in their email yesterday the proposal from Frank Licari to purchase a sanitation truck. In the 2021 budget, we put a purchase of a sanitation truck and we budgeted $200,000. The truck cost for the quote is $197,119. And there's a request from Frank Licari that we purchase it now in 2020. And we will not have to pay for it until it arrives sometime in 2021. There's a 7 to 10 month delay in the ordering and the delivery of a sanitation truck. Does anyone have any commissioner have any questions regarding the purchase order or the request to purchase the sanitation truck?
Do we have any
Actually,
other quotes?
Excuse me?
Do we have any other quotes?
No, the way we do it is through Sourcewell, and Sourcewell is a contracting entity that actually is a statewide program where we put out what we want and the bidding process comes to us. We have used this Long Island Sanitation Equipment entity for many years, and they always have the best bid. And that's the one that's being proposed to us.
What was the delay?
What is the delay? It's
Yes,
usually, last year it was 8 months.
Right.
This year it was, I guess we got it in December, so it was about 12 months, but that was COVID.
Yeah, understood. Okay.
So the sooner we get it in now,
Yes.
the sooner we can get the truck.
Yep.
And also, my understanding from speaking to Frank Licari, the prices may go up in 2021. So
Right.
that's why I asked him to get something to us for this meeting, so that we can purchase it this year.
when did we purchase the trucks, the two trucks last year?
I believe it was in December.
Yeah, because I remember it was then around that time too.
And we did budget more than that cost, correct?
We budgeted $200,000.
Yeah. Okay.
That's in the 2021 budget.
Well, then I'd make the motion to go ahead and do it.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I have a purchase order that I'm going to be executing. And that way we can have that processed tomorrow.
Good.
Uh,
Thank you.
I guess we're up to public comments. Does anyone in the public have any comments? If you do, feel free to take yourself off mute.
Muted. Yeah, how you doing? My name is Rich Tarangelo, and I have a comment and a question.
Okay, what is your screen name? Because I don't see you.
It's Nicole Tarangelo. I'm here
Okay,
with my
got
mom.
you. Okay,
In regards to the overtly racial comments made by Mr. Helmsley, I'm curious as to whether the board is going to take any action or is going to take the tacit refusal to answer questions and simply allow this individual to continue in a position of power when it's clear that they have a bias against Jews, Blacks, and gays. And I'm curious how the board will seek to ensure that that bias doesn't permeate the very business and dealings with contractors and employees.
okay, I'll respond. Since,
You want to take it or you want me to take it?
well, I'll just respond shortly,
Okay.
and then John, you can take it.
Yep.
At this meeting was the first time Mr. Commissioner Helmsley showed up. I wanted to be able to ask him questions tonight. And his refusal to answer my questions will require the board to meet and discuss whether or not we have an independent investigation, which is the only way he's going to respond. With respect to meetings with contractors and employees, John, do you want to respond to that? Champoli?
Yeah, I think that the board's position on anything that's offensive that you talked about is very clear. The board has renounced it and rejected it. We've consulted with the Attorney General. The Attorney General advises us that we do have the right to investigate, which is exactly what course of action we're pursuing. And Commissioner Graff said it exactly right. We have to decide now how we wish to proceed with an investigation, which may require an outside investigatory counsel to conduct the investigation. That's a question. That's the next question up for the commissioners. That should be, in my opinion, conducted in an executive session with counsel present, obviously, and we'll proceed. We'll proceed from there.
I have a follow-up question.
Go ahead.
Has the board considered the impact from a liability standpoint that Mr. Helmsley's actions could have? And in that regard, I mean, should a suit for discrimination, sexual harassment, racism be brought against the district, his posts would be Exhibit A in any trial?
We have considered it. We've actually discussed it with our insurance company. They are aware of what's going on. Fortunately, we have not had any claims made. But it is a concern. But at this point, we have to, as a board, decide whether or not to investigate through independent counsel, since Mr. Helmsley will not respond to my questions. I just want to reiterate that on behalf of the board, we condemn the racism, anti-Semitism, disability, the anti-disability, anti-LGBTQ posts. And while we will not have executive session today because of the restrictions placed on us by Zoom, we will be meeting the first week in January to address whether or not we will have an independent investigation. And at that point, if we do decide, what I was trying to do is avoid an expense of the district, avoid spending district money for an investigation. That's why I was going to ask Mr. Helmsley the questions I was asking him. But now with no choice, I think the board has to decide whether or not an independent investigation is appropriate. And we'll discuss that at the first meeting in January.
and please understand, we have to comply with the statute. We have to follow the statutory procedures, and Commissioner Helmsley's entitled to due process at all points during this this investigation.
I'm curious, when you say due process, the posts were posted, they were seen by hundreds of people. We have printouts of the posts. Is there any doubt that, and I've also seen emails where he admitted that he did write those posts. What due process? Cannot the council enact a special provision or morals clause which would enable you to boot him, to get him out of here?
God, I wish we could.
You're really getting into the finer P's and Q's and what advice I have to give the board as a whole. Commissioner Helmsley is entitled, if he so chooses, to have his own counsel. The questions that you've raised don't quite reflect what the requirements of the statute are. I won't go beyond that. We have to abide by the statute, and any questioning that is going to be made by anyone who's doing questioning is going to be within the scope that is allowed by the statute. Okay,
And what would the provisions of that statute be, and where could I read that statute?
it's in the public officers law, and you can find it there. I don't have the citation in front of me, Austin. Do you recall it off the top of your head? I want to say 130, but I don't want to say it because I might be wrong.
I don't remember off the top.
Okay, it's in the public officers law, and it's the basis for removal of a public or someone in public office.
Are there any other questions, comments?
I have a comment. This is an incredibly public issue that we're dealing with in an incredibly hostile climate. And it could be said that Mr. Hemsley's refusal to answer any of your board questions is quite literally an admission of guilt, especially if this is the first meeting that he's attended to since this issue has happened. I'm a social worker and I understand policy and I understand statute, but right is right and wrong is wrong, and his posts were clearly not fabricated. He obviously shows absolutely no remorse for what he posted, and as this is an incredibly public issue, it needs to be handled, and decisions made by the board, I understand due process and I understand the statutes, I get it, but the public needs to be updated on the process of this, because I know from a personal standpoint, this is an incredibly big issue. It's a complex issue, and being racist, being anti-Semitic, being ableist in 2020 is absolutely disgusting, and it should not be allowed to continue. And Mr. Hemsley, if you show any remorse for anything that you posted, you should basically take it like a man and answer the board's questions, because it's a cop-out to not answer these questions with the public here. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments?
I think she was good.
Yeah, I think that, listen, I think we should meet on the 7th, and we should, have Austin or the board or the district kind of put out what our position is and, what the process is, and kind of explain it in a little bit. People are going to ask that same question. That's a very reasonable question.
And I think it's fair to say that the process up to now has been explained. This was our first opportunity for anyone on the board to ask Commissioner Hemsley if he wanted to respond to questions. He's decided he doesn't want to. That's his right. And we will go, and now we're handicapped. As much as this is a great thing that we can have a Zoom meeting and we don't have to be physically present, there are limitations and security issues with Zoom that we don't want to have executive session discussions on, and we can't have executive discussions on. So we will handle that at the next meeting. The public will be apprised of what the process is. and we will follow the process and we will follow the law.
If there's no other questions, comments, or anything, can I have a motion to close the board meeting?
I'll make the
Make that
motion.
motion.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, so Joe made the
second it.
motion.
Oh, I thought Pat first and second the motion.
1, 2, 3.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Good night.